Well, the hype train around Absolute Wonder Woman started over the last few weeks. This one lagged behind Absolute Batman by Scott Snyder during this DC All In initiative. And I thought, this is just another thing that's going to ride on the coattails and do this thing again. I wasn't thrilled with the announcement of Kelly Thompson writing this. Kelly Thompson is somebody who has been propped up by the industry quite a bit lately, just because she's female. And I didn't like what she did with G.I. Joe Scarlet, kind of made it into a woke nightmare over there. And I thought, here she goes on Wonder Woman as well. Now, this came out today, and I'll talk about the hype around it and exactly what happened in just a moment. I was very, very actually surprised with my reaction to reading this, and we'll talk about this in a second. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things comics here. Really appreciate you for being there, and really appreciate you for checking out our independent books as well. I've got a Space Marine book called The Emerald Array, where alien invasion is happening, and of course humanity is at risk. The Emerald Array, the Terran Imperium's most elite squadron of Space Marines, goes out to deal with the problem, and you'll absolutely love this if you love action-adventure comics. It's a 66-page graphic novel, available only on Fund My Comic, and please support independent comics. Grab it in the description below. Thank you guys so much for backing us and making this a success already. And yes, again, in the description below, appreciate you for being there. So, like I said, Absolute Wonder Woman. I saw the last night, too. It actually got trending on X because they gave out a ton of copies to reviewers. DC Comics really, as far as all-ins going on, Scott Snyder, I don't know if he's leading it and kind of getting everybody to go in on this with him, but he is leading a ton of marketing efforts with this, and he's been pushing this all-in and Absolute line so hard. I've never seen anything like it. I will give him major kudos for his marketing tactics, even though Absolute Batman I was not fond of, didn't feel like Batman whatsoever. Of course, it had its woke nonsense with Barbara Gordon getting race swapped. And reports are that they're going to do a Bruce Wayne, Barbara Gordon romance, with the race swap Barbara Gordon too. Super cringy. So got some pushback when I talked about that. This is an Elseworlds story. Well, yeah, it is. But DC's running this as if it's like their main line. I mean, they 300,000 sales for an Elseworlds story. Wonder Woman getting 160,000 sales for an Elseworlds story. I mean, this is pretty wild. They're running this as if it's like the main DC event. And so it is something that's a little unique in that regard. And, when they do these things where they try to replace characters like this, it's very intentional. Barbara Gordon had no purpose in the Absolute Batman #1 story other than to show that she was black. I mean, that was it was stop the story to do that. That is what wokeness is, my friends. And if other channels are saying it's not that woke, well, it kind of is. So I expected much the same from Wonder Woman. One, because of the design here, where she's very, very mannish. She's got a giant sword like she's Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. She's got weird tattoos on her, which doesn't really make sense for like a Greek, character. I don't know. And so it's like, okay, this is going to be modern Wonder Woman for modern audiences, which it kind of already is. If you go to Tom King's Wonder Woman run, it's been the biggest woke nightmare ever. I had to stop reading it just because it was just so frustrating month after month, watching Wonder Woman groom children into different pronoun identities, watching the villain literally be Trump. I mean, it's like, gosh, Tom King is just the worst hack out there. He really is. So I thought, you know what, they're just going to make it even worse because this is a alternate universe, and maybe they will, but they didn't in issue 1. I'm happy to report. This was supremely readable, and I was a little shocked. I was ready to hate this, hate the art design, I hate the Wonder Woman design, and I'm not a fan of Kelly Thompson. She wrote a good book, and I'm going to just give an honest review because this is what the channel does over here. This is a actually good book. It's better than Absolute Batman by far, and way more coherent. So it starts out with this gateway city, and I'm just going to show the first couple of pages. The interesting art style. They're doing this like this art style in DC Comics quite a bit, and this reminds me of the lady who did the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book. It's very similar art style. You got some reporters reporting some crazy stuff's going on, and then what the heck is showing up here? And it turns out this is Wonder Woman riding on some like skeleton sort of thing. It's pretty badass, but it's just kind of not Wonder Woman, right? And so this is where at the beginning of the book I was ready to be like, okay, this is going to be terrible. And this is the concept. Wonder Woman wasn't raised properly. She wasn't raised on Paradise Island. She was actually raised in hell by Circe, who's one of her villains. And Circe was banished to an island there. And it goes back and forth between Wonder Woman and this like demonic entity that is out trying to hurt humanity, and then goes back to Circe back here. And like I said, I really don't like this art style. It's it was fine. I get the style, and the guy does the style competently, but I've just seen it a lot, and it just makes all the women not look pretty. I kind of don't want that out of Wonder Woman so much, it's just kind of odd. It's like an old Art Nouveau type of style, but not done quite right. Weird stuff. And so when you get into this, you eventually see Wonder Woman fight off against this demon person, and it goes back and forth between this origin story of Wonder Woman in hell and this like demon creature who's trying to go against the city. Wonder Woman takes her licks in a fight against this thing, and at the end of it, it sets up a continuation. So we learn that Wonder Woman's raised in hell. She's not. Apollo just dropped her off there for some unknown reason. I guess we'll get into that later, maybe in the series. And the demons are now kind of coming out of hell, trying to like take over our realm. And maybe that's why it's called Gateway City, because it's a gateway to hell. I don't know. And Wonder Woman's trying to stop them. So that's actually a pretty cool premise. I gotta say. Enjoyable. Like the dialogue was really good all the way through. The storyline was good all the way through. The back and forth between the backstory of Wonder Woman, so we know her origin and who she is, and that she's different in this Elseworld universe, worked pretty well. I was pleasantly surprised that this just, as an issue, flowed excellently and just provided a lot of action and did not hit on any sort of weird political lectures or anything like that. It just worked well. And so while I didn't like the way that the art looks on the women's faces and the like, because I think it makes them less pretty, and Wonder Woman should be a beautiful character in my opinion. So should Circe. She's a Greek goddess after all. But beyond that, like the demons look pretty cool. Like the hellscapes look pretty cool. The designs of like that weird creature Wonder Woman was riding on looked pretty cool. Yeah, I got to give it to them. Like it all kind of fired on all cylinders. So as a single issue, I got to rate this like an 8 out of 10, and it's enjoyable stuff and does make me want to read further. So I guess I'm going to keep picking up this book. Interesting stuff. And I was surprised by this because I really expected something just that was not going to work here. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know, and we'll be back soon. Please check out the Emerald Array if you like good comic books. This is for you, and I appreciate you guys for being there.